Welcome back to another video from Kiev, Ukraine. I realize it's been a while, guys. Sorry about that. I'll try to be a little more frequent. So today is about 11 o'clock in the morning, the 24th of May. It's a Sunday morning, and last night was one of the largest attacks on Kiev and Ukraine in general since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. And let me tell you, it was brutal. In fact, let me read a couple of official statistics directly from the Ministry of Defense. Okay, this is directly from AFU, Armed Forces of Ukraine, Stratcom, so Strategic Command. So they said last night the enemy used one medium-range ballistic missile, two 47 M2 Dagger ballistic missiles, three Zircon anti-ship missiles, 30 Iskander or MS-400 ballistic missiles, three X-101 Iskander or Caliber cruise missiles, and 600 attack drones. The damage is quite extensive, especially in Kiev, to include near my apartment. So I'm going to walk over that area. I know they hit a metro station. It's closed down. The last I saw, there were 62 people injured and at least 2 deaths. And so now, while you might, the average person, and I see people comment about this all the time online, if Russia's attacks were so bad, how come that many people weren't killed? Well, the President Zelensky and the city administration yesterday put out a notice that they fully expected an attack, on a large-scale magnitude attack from Russia last night. They received intelligence from the U.S. and other Western partners. The U.S. State Department also put out a warning to its personnel, and so people had plenty of advance warning, and a lot of people were already in the shelters. In fact, a 9-story residential building was hit by one of these ballistic missiles, and it actually trapped the people down in the bunker. Most of the buildings have bunkers below them, so people were actually trapped down, and they were trying to sift through the rubble to get to the survivors. So, like I said, I'm going to walk around and just see what kind of damage there is. I have to take the back way over close to my apartment because the metro near there was the one that was hit last night. So I read something hit near Maidan, so I'm going to walk down towards Maidan and go that way, back route, and maybe I'll see what's going on. I noticed I make my way towards Maidan. It's extremely quiet this morning. Sunday's usually a little less foot traffic, but it's really quiet. And like myself, I only got about 3 hours sleep, so I imagine a lot of people are taking the time to catch up on a little sleep after we were up all night. The attack started about 1 in the morning and went until almost 6 in the morning. Notice this is the Locks gate down on Maidan. I just noticed all of these. I did see that 2 schools were hit last night. Of course, it was the middle of the night or wee hours of the morning, so there are no children involved. So I'm wondering if this has anything to do with that. I don't know. I may see if I can ask somebody. Forget Lucky, the dog that you all see me feed on the video sometimes. A lot of things hit over near her, so I'm going to walk over and check her out too. I'm a little worried about her. I can't imagine how scared she was last night, along with all the other, street dogs. I guess I hate to call them that, but the ones that live on the streets. So a little worried about her, so I'm going to go check her out. Of course, I brought her some treats as usual, and hopefully she's okay. The Nova Posta on the corner of Maidan and Krchadik Street, and I see that they've got plywood over there, so something must have hit close enough to break those windows, though I don't see any where anything hit near, but something had to hit to break these windows for them to put plywood up in the doors. And I see the windows above the doors, to include the little coffee window here, they're all blown out as well, so I'll keep checking. As I round the corner, I immediately see all the glass on the ground. So something is hit close. Yeah, these windows are blown out. Obviously you can see where they swept up in piles, but look what's behind there. Piece of something. Oh no, I didn't realize that. Obviously the piece of some type of, what do they call that, manufactured fabricated metal. I couldn't tell, it wasn't a big enough piece to see what it was attached to, but a lot of times they'll shoot these drones or missiles out of the sky, so they'll hit them and the pieces will fall all over the place. And like with that right there, that piece may have just hit the ground so hard it caused concussion that shocked and broke all the windows nearby. Talked to a couple of international correspondents here actually. One was from Holland, one was from Italy, and I'll spin around here and show you. They were staying at the Hotel Ukraine last night, so that piece I showed you, they said it was part of a ballistic missile, a fragment of one that got taken down, and they said there's a bunch more up here. So what I read online is the little memorial to the Heavenly 100, which is at one of the metro entrances to the Kachadok metro station up here, are closed. And so they said there's some more things roped off up here, so I'm going to go up here just to see how extensive the damage is. People sweeping glass up, and you can see some missing panes. This is the Presto, I forget the name of these restaurants. Yeah, Pesto Cafe. You can see the sheets of glass down there. Someone from Holland that I talked to said that both of their rooms were destroyed, and luckily they heeded all the warnings yesterday from the government, and to include hotel, they were giving updates, suggesting people go to the shelters. So luckily those two gentlemen were not in their rooms, so I'm gonna see if I forgot to ask them what side of the hotel it was on. I can already see windows blown out of the hotel on this side here. You see 1, 2, third floor. Ooh, all the way up. The closer I get, the more extensive the damage is. I can see glass all along the bottom. All these windows are blown out. See, I need another piece of the missile up here. Whoa, I used to stay in that hotel when I visited quite often. Here's another piece of the missile. So here's the memorial to the Heavenly 100 from the Euromaidan Revolution back November 13 to February 14. And look at this building right behind it. That glass up there looks like something punched clean through it. So the metro entrance is below it, which is closed. So I'm going to walk over there and see. It's closed for some reason, so I'm guessing there's more damage. There was damage up to that metro entrance, but there were police officers up there, so I couldn't film. However, kind of like the hotel, there's just glass blown out. I didn't see actually any structural damage. Oh, somebody's pointing up here. Okay, so that was my quick look. Sorry, I had somebody stop me. He was asking me questions where stuff hit. And he was French, speaking Ukrainian with a horrible French accent, so it was difficult for me to understand him. That's it. So I walked up by the hotel, so now I'm going to jump on the metro and head over towards Lukyanovska district, actually down through Podil, up through Lukyanovska, where there was one of the biggest hits on the metro stop up there. So I don't know how close I'll be able to get, but it looks like it's completely wiped out the top of that metro stop, and then the small mall next to it where I just ate lunch yesterday in a Pozada Hada there. So a little afraid to go see what damage is done there, but that's pretty close to the dog where I feed, so I need to go check on her. On Traktovo Plosha, walking down to this side street, and I can smell and see smoke in the air. And I see a lot of first responders and ambulances and things like this, and it's all roped off. So we'll have to see how far down I can get. In the background there, they set up an emergency services tent there, and then this is a lot of debris out to the side there, so I can't get close enough to see what actually hit. But I see a lot of emergency services down the middle of the street. And I see the corner of that building there is pretty messed up. The tree's broken. So this is where I just was, way down there, and I'm a block away. You can still see a lot of these windows are broken out and stuff here, some emergency vehicles. So making my way slowly back up towards my district. See, is the ballistic hit on the block down, and it blew out windows across here, all the way across here, all the way up. So this is just a little bit of an example of how strong and loud those compressions are. So you can imagine what it feels and sounds like being really close to one when that actually hits. I read online 5 or 6 districts of Kyiv were struck last night, and they were struck multiple times, which is why there's such widespread damage on different areas of the city. Look, I'm right at 2 blocks away now, and you can still see the broken glass down here. So way back in the distance, if you can see the yellow trucks, that's where the strike was. Blew glass out 2 blocks away. That's insane. Despite this huge attack last night, all this carnage everywhere, one of the local flea markets still managed to open today. So you really have to appreciate the veracity and resilience of the Ukrainian people. So it's a lot smaller than it was yesterday, but kudos to those dedicated personnel who made it out. Here is the first group of people I am checking on. Oh, lady's coming, I have to turn the camera off. So this is one of the dogs that live here. There's 3 dogs that live here. This is Yulia. She is a mama. There's a big black dog, and then there's a 3rd dog who has shown up relatively recently that hangs out with their pack. And so I don't see the other 2. I only see her. So one of the little ladies was just here. She feeds her twice a day. Feeds them twice a day. So they have a house here and a house here. But I don't see the other 2 dogs. But she's a sweetheart. So she doesn't want any food today, but she does let you pet her. Right. Just try to stay cool. Get some sleep. There's 2 things I was going to check on today. It made me a little nervous. One is the metro station Lukyanevska, that area there that was hit pretty hard. The second one is Lucky. So I'm rounding the corner by where Lucky lives, and let's see if she's out. Oh, well, there she is. Thank God. See her way up on the stairs there. Last year some stuff hit pretty close to her, and I'm sure she was scared to death. Oh, she saw me. Hi, Mama. Were you scared last night? Hi, baby girl. Were you scared? Were you scared? I brought you some treats, some water. All right. Okay. So she's okay. I'm gonna feed her. I'll be right back. Oh my God! I don't have my remote for my camera, so I can't zoom. But the devastation I can see from here, it's the worst I've seen in the city since the full scale began. You can see a little closer. It's really bad. Along the back side of the residential building, you see the glass everywhere. So even the concussion on the back side of the building was pretty strong. There's glass everywhere I look. Oh my God, it's worse than I thought. All the way down to this end of the block. There's the big, is it Autovat? Shopping center behind the metro station. The little pet store where I actually get treats from Lucky is right here, down by this blue roof. So everything is just gone. Saw pictures of the big building in the background burning on Telegram last night. I was hoping it was mostly superficial, just on the roof, but it looks like the entire building was destroyed, as well as all the surrounding buildings. It'll be interesting. I'm surprised that I don't think they had enough water in that truck. It's like they're still pumping water in on the flames. My God, everything was destroyed. I literally just ate dinner there yesterday afternoon in the Posada Hada. In the Sopo there, I used to go there all the time. There's shrapnel and glass all out in the street. It's a building I said I just saw was on fire in the photos. It's a absolute complete loss, total loss. Mom, if you watch this video, this is a little mall where you bought one of the shirts from a little Italian shop when you were here. It's a Lukyanevska Metro. It's on the back side of this. Back side of the little farmer's market in between the metro stop. Every day people set up their booths there. These were their livelihoods. It's all destroyed. I can't even imagine how long it would take to rebuild, if they're even going to rebuild. Still smoking up top. This was just an empty building. started filming this area, I was way down the street there and couldn't see that far down this way. So now I'm on the other end. Yeah, the whole, wow. My Kyivstar was there, Roshan Chocolate, little lady upstairs had a clothes repair shop I used to go to all the time. Unbelievable. On the back side, this is the Kvartum, I think is the name of the shopping center, and McDonald's. You can see up along the top the tin or whatever that metal it is. It actually warped from the heat, but no actual fire damage. So this is how close Russia got to my usual hangouts. This is an area I was just down there filming. There's a factory that was blown up, and then luckily I missed my little pub that I go to. These windows have been blown out quite often, so I'm actually happy it's open. I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So, man, what else can I say? You know, after World War II, the whole world promised never again, and guess what? The whole world fucking lied. So, what you just saw is what's typical wherever Russia comes or goes, death follows. And so, what am I gonna say? Like, we're 4 years into this, plus the whole world should have had a different reaction, and they haven't. They're just gonna let it continue. So, yeah. Wish us all luck. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.